Welcome to another quick review from Ultimate DIY. Today we are going to take a look at thermal printers. Now this thermal printer is made by a company called MUNBYN, and they specialize in printers, and especially these kind of printers, so they're very good at it. I'm going to tell you first of all, the thing that I noticed right away when I got this in was the fact that it is extremely small and compact. I can carry it around very easily. It weighs just a little over 2 pounds. But I will tell you that when I get something like this, I'm always very skeptical because a lot of times they're just so complicated that you're not going to use it. Well, we're going to go over some of those to kind of ease your mind a little, some of those specifics. And we're going to take a look specifically at how you make the little QR codes and how you actually program it and set it up, because that's the main reason I got this. Now, there is a lot of reasons for these thermal printers. One of the things I'm going to point out is they're waterproof. They're made for packaging. If you use an ink, it's going to smear, especially if it gets wet. These do not use ink at all. They are going to use the thermal heating process, and it's built into the paper. So you're never going to have to buy an ink cartridge or a toner cartridge or anything like that. Once you get this, the only thing you're going to have to buy is the actual paper. You're going to have like this type of paper, or you can buy it in a roll just like this. Now, they do have a stand that this can set on, so that if you want to use the roll, it'll actually kind of fold underneath the stand, and that's a really great option, but you don't have to have it. This will still work with the roll without that. So let's go ahead and go over what you get when you get the unit. It's going to come in this box right here, and then you're going to get the transformer power cord so that you can plug it into the wall. They're even going to give you the actual connector so you can connect this to your PC direct, but this is a Bluetooth system and it works very well off the Bluetooth. And that Bluetooth will print not only from your computer and your iPad and things like that, but it's going to also be able to print from smartphones, whether it is an Apple or whether it's an Android device. So it gives you a lot of versatility. So you're going to get the cord though. You're also going to get a little USB that actually has the drivers on it so that you can plug this right in and you can get your computer up and running really quickly. Now, that being said, I want to point out there is a website. They have their own website with all kinds of drivers, all kinds of manuals, all kinds of questions answered. You're going to want to spend a little time there because when I first got it, I tried reading the little manual that they get, but it's more about just setting the unit up. When you want to know specifics on like why does it keep feeding too much paper, you're going to want to go on there and read that. And by the way, when it does that, it just means that you need to go into your settings and set all of your paper feeding size, paper feed, paper everything the same. That's why it's spitting out extra paper. But that site is really good for answering those questions. Okay, so first thing let's see how we actually plug this in. When you plug in your transformer, the blue light's going to come on showing that you actually have power, and this actually plugs in right here at the back. So you would plug power there, just like that, and then the light is going to come on. Now, right now it's red, flashing, showing I do not have any paper. When I put the paper in, it's going to go blue. It also kind of does the same thing when you do not have it tied to your phone or computer yet. It will flash letting you know that it's not ready. This is where you would use the plug and plug it in direct to your computer right here. Super simple. And by the way, this side is just a USB, so any USB port on your computer, you can plug that directly in. And this is going to be your power button on and off, just like that. Now, I'm going to unplug it for a second and show you this. To open it, it's simple. You have these little levers, and they're kind of stiff, so you'll be maybe afraid to move it the first time, but you just simply pull it back, and you will adjust the size of your paper, or your labels, I should say, right here. It does have a little area for cutting the labels loose if they're not already ready to do that. A lot of times like this, paper will tear automatically without having to use the little cutter. And you're just simply going to be face up, and you're just going to guide it right in. Let's see, right here, just like that. You don't go under the rollers, you just go over them. It's going to readjust itself once you shut it. And you just simply will shut this. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my power in first. So we are powered back up, turned on, and now when I shut it, it's going to go from red, it's lining itself up, it's ready to rock and roll. Now your actual app is right here. I'm just going to hit it. It actually opens up, and I've got it set on common questions right now, but if we go home, you're going to simply hit the plus button to add something. And we are going to say new label. Now this is where if I'm doing the QR code right here, you're going to actually go over here and hit QR code. Now this is the interesting part. If I print, it's just going to print it out. Right here where it says under content, you're going to type in the web address or whatever it is that you want to go to the QR code. And then you would hit return. So when I go back to the main screen, I can grab it and I can actually move it around where I want it on the print label. And you notice it'll have guidelines like right there, which centers for you. And then you can actually move this in or out and get it centered. So you can make it as big or small as you want, just like this one was smaller. And this one I did larger. Now this one is already set up, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how that works. So let's go ahead and see what it pulls up. It actually pulls up my YouTube channel that quick. So you can set up whatever website, whatever thing that you want here. You can even put in print. You can do all kinds of cool things. So the unit is very versatile. So not only can you do the QR codes, it has a lot of preloaded graphics and things that you can actually use, and you can use outside programs to operate this as well if you have something in particular that you like to use. Now this is already set up for like UPS and a lot of your other major shippers out there so that you can print the labels very much the same way. And another thing you can do is you can import labels and you can actually print those from file. So if you have a certain label, like say this is a label and it has been sent to you, you can import it and print it directly onto the printer. So I think that's a really cool thing too, because a lot of times you're not going to just create the label by hand yourself. You're going to want to import a label from someone who, say you're doing a return. And that way you could print that label out real fast and stick it on the box and you're ready to rock and roll. Now there's just a lot of really cool functions. You can also, if you have a label already preset that's going to have your name and address and things like that on it, you can preload that, have it saved so that you can load up really quickly. So one last thing I'd like to cover on this is the fact that it is not just used for labels for shipping. You can make labels for moving boxes. You can make labels for storage boxes inside of your garage and workshop or your DIY shop. You can label everything. You can make special little labels to go inside of notebooks for reminders. You can put them around your office. You can put them anywhere with the self-stick option, which is kind of really cool. So there is a multitude of reasons that you can use this and would want to use this. Now, I love the fact that it's small and versatile. It's real well made, and I think this thing's going to last for years and years. I can see getting a lot of use out of it. So if you're looking for a really good thermal printer, I don't think you're going to go wrong with this. Do yourself a favor, pick yourself up one today, and we will see you guys on the next review.